Welcome to Tzu Chi This Week. I'm Helen Liao. It's good to have you with us. Coming up in this week's top stories, we follow our diary reporter to Lanyu to see how the island is recovering from Typhoon Timbin. To help the flood victims in Myanmar, Tzu Chi volunteers are holding relief distribution in the Bago region. And in the United States, for the first time in 23 years, the Tzu Chi U.S. headquarters is holding the first employee training seminar. In Taiwan, Typhoon Timbin left a trail of destruction on the Lanyu Island early this week. The typhoon brought level 17 winds and waves as high as 10 meters. The disaster damaged more than 40 buildings, including Lanyu Airport, Kaiyuan Harbor, the island's only gas station, and many more. Despite the situation, local residents and the army have been working together to clean up the mess left by the typhoon. Today, we follow our diary reporter to take a look at the current situation of Lanyu Island.
Right now, I'm on a Seagull helicopter on the way to Lanyu Island. The Army has sent out many helicopters to deliver relief supplies and helpers to Lanyu Island.
Looking at the coastline of Lanyu Island and around the island highway, one can see the damage and rocks left behind. Walking on the streets of Lanyu Island, one sees building debris everywhere. This building was completely washed away. Mr. Wen injured himself while running for his life.
I cut the corner of my eye when the glass shattered. We didn't have electricity and the glass was broken, so I probably stepped on it. My feet are injured too.
Right under my feet is not the floor, but the wall that was washed down by the wave. When the wave came, it washed down the 50 centimeters thick wall. This is all that is left of the Farmers Association building after the disaster.
For the past few days, we have been lacking in food supplies.
The only gas station in Lanyu Island is not the same anymore. Luckily, the underground pipeline was not damaged by the typhoon. Right there are 6,000 liters of gasoline and 11,000 liters of diesel fuel available for use.
The underground pipelines might be broken, so we are using the exposed pipelines for now. Tomorrow afternoon, the gas station will reopen.
Inside the Kaiyuan Harbor, one can see the remains of boats, some broken in half, while 40 fishing boats have gone missing.
When we saw that was left of the harbor and our fishing boats, we didn't know what to say. Some are lucky because they can still see the remains of their fishing boats.
Local residents and soldiers worked together in cleaning up the mess left behind the typhoon. Thanks to the collaborative efforts between the two, a section of the harbor is back to normal. In just a day, this little shop was left with just a few metal pillars. With the help from local residents, Li Shenghua, who is a single mother, returns home to clean up her shop. She says she will never give up hope.
We help each other out. It is impossible for me to do this on my own. I'm very touched.
A disaster can take away everything in Lanyu Island. However, it will never take away the warmth and love of its residents. Pingdong's Hengchun Tzu Chi volunteers are visiting those residents who have been affected by the recent flooding. In just 1 week, those mountainside residents experienced 2 visits from Typhoon Timbin, and many were not able to prepare before the storm returned. Tzu Chi volunteers brought Master Zheng Yan's condolences and emergency cash on their visits.
In just 1 week, 2 typhoons visited Hengchun's Sanjiao neighborhood. Although Timbin has passed, the helplessness is still evident on the residents' faces. For this disaster victim, Miss Yo, who brought out her blanket to substitute as sandbags, nothing could be saved as the waters were waist high. I was afraid of a second typhoon, really afraid that it was going to flood again. I had hired someone to clean already. I've been cleaning so much that I'm scared to face it again. The flood destroyed everything in her home. Miss Yo can only look to the heavens for help. Today, Tzu Chi volunteers brought Master Zhenyan's condolences and emergency cash, hoping that it will relieve some of her financial burdens. Many rooms in my house don't have beds. The most important thing is to buy mattresses for those rooms. After the typhoon passed, Tzu Chi volunteers are visiting residents to bring care and love, settling many residents' hearts. I have been here for 16 years, and this is the worst flooding I have experienced. There was one time where it flooded to the kitchen area, but not to here in the living room. This is the first time in 16 years.
We only experienced minor damage ourselves, but they have major damages and nowhere to sleep upon returning home. It's heartbreaking.
The flood was ruthless, but volunteers react with love, hoping the power of love will help the residents rebuild their lives.
The heavy rainfall at the end of July in Myanmar has caused serious flooding in the Bago region. After Tzu Chi volunteers in Myanmar conducted a disaster survey, they distributed aid supplies including rice, split peas, soybean oil, blankets, straw mat, and emergency cash to 190 households in Pyangsu.
How long does it take to get to the Pyangsu, which is about 30 kilometers away from Bago? Volunteers in Myanmar spent 4.5 hours to transport their relief supplies. Though it was a long journey, they did not complain, as they knew the relief items on the rafts were essential to the 190 families in the village.
This is the first time a disaster relief team has been here to help. We really appreciate today's distribution. For us, you are like our savior bringing hope to the village.
As the villagers know Tzu Chi is coming with aid supplies to help, they line up to help carry the relief items. Helping out brings a sense of togetherness to the village. A 35-year-old farmer had just planted 5 acres of rice seedlings before the floods devastated everything he had planted. However, after receiving Master Zhenyan's letter and emergency cash, he was encouraged to move on.
After the flood recedes, I can still plant rice seedlings for a short-term harvest, so I may be able to repay the debts.
Tzu Chi's relief items not only help the residents restore their lives, but also give them the strength to rebuild their homes.
Tzu Chi volunteers carry out a 3-day aid distribution in Bago, Myanmar from the 19th of August before finishing on the 21st. Volunteers traveled to 3 districts where they handed out emergency cash, rice, beans, cooking oil, as well as straw mats and blankets. A total of 771 households received help.
Although the floodwaters have yet to recede, already Bago province in Myanmar is getting hit with downpours. Due to the size of the region, volunteers decided to hold aid distributions in different locations.
The favorite thing I got today was the rice because we eat it every day. The blanket can cover us and the straw mat can be used to light on. In fact, everything we got, our family had been lacking.
A half a month on, the floodwaters here have yet to recede. For those who can afford them, boats are used to get around. For those without the means, they are stuck at home. With food source and hope dwindling, into the breach stepped Tzu Chi, which not only brought daily essentials, but kind words and a compassionate heart, deeply moving the disaster victims.
Our family has many children and life is difficult. Due to the flooding, most of the village has been going hungry. We thank you so much for the aid you have brought.
Joining the distribution are local volunteers who learn to face the work and hardship unflinchingly.
While in class, it was the time to study. Now that we are out here, we are actually working on behalf of others. In doing so, we have come to understand the Master's saying that we must have a compassionate mind, limitless concern, and a kindness for all life. So when doing Tzu Chi, we find more and more happiness in our heart.
Altogether, volunteers helped 771 families in 3 of the worst-hit areas of Bago Province. Armed with food, money, and hope, these recipients can now look to the future with full stomachs and peaceful hearts.
In the United States, Palmdale is a desert area located 1 hour north of Los Angeles, California. Residents here struggle to get by, let alone providing health insurance for their family. In July, Tzu Chi and team of doctors held a free clinic for local residents, and on August 26, they returned it to visit those who were unable to receive treatment in the previous visit.
In preparation for the second free clinic in Palmdale, California, Tzu Chi volunteers arrived the day before to set up the venue. Newly part of the clinic is the computer program that volunteers have designed to help electronically record patient information.
Based on zip codes, we can see what area the people that are coming to the free clinic are from. This way we can determine where we need to hold our future free clinics.
Back in July, when Tzu Chi concluded the first free clinic, there was still over 200 patients unseen by dentists. So team of doctors promised those patients a return in August. This time they are joined by dentists from Northern California.
You need help. The people need help. And this is an extraordinarily bad year. You know, we have patients all over the state that are in dire need right now. This is the only chance they get to have any health care at all. So
they really need our help, or else they wouldn't have waited from July till now. We also appreciate the dentists for finding time to help us.
Treasuring the chance to attend the free clinic, many arrive early. Although the services are free, the staff is still very professional and thorough when doing x-rays, filling cavities, cleaning teeth, and even repairing dentures.
So you don't have insurance, right? No, we don't. And this is a very good help.
And he was very conscientious of having others see it, so he always had his hand over his mouth. And so when the Tzu Chi dental van came and they fixed his teeth, it just opened up his life.
The dental free clinic saw a total of 178 patients and entertained the idea of a regular dentistry free clinic.
In the United States, the Tzu Chi U.S. headquarters held a Tzu Chi employee training seminar for the first time in 23 years. Through high-tech methods, a meeting was held over the 5 different time zones. Everyone hopes that through this seminar, they can get to know each other better and, more importantly, united their efforts to change society for the better.
If the Americans are not enlightened, the world won't be enlightened either.
Even though volunteers in the United States often meet up during their volunteer work, for many this is their first reunion.
Actually, we have a lot of volunteers here in the U.S., but strangely enough, we seldom meet. So today's event is a good opportunity to get to know each other better.
In the United States, Tzu Chi has 9 different chapters. Today, 160 employees are going online at the same time to attend the Tzu Chi employee training seminar. The seminar started in Hawaii at 7 o'clock in the morning and ended in New York at 9 in the evening, with the purpose of encouraging everyone to work together.
Not just doing a job as a job, but see your job as the passion of your daily life. Then it becomes much more easier when you face challenge and difficulties.
The volunteers not only make the seminar fun, but also full of Tzu Chi's humanitarian spirit. It was a rare occasion for the Tzu Chi employees to meet up in a non-work environment. For many, the seminar also was a chance to enjoy a relaxed atmosphere of sharing.
We need to understand the thoughts of the volunteers first, so we as the employees can work together efficiently.
We need to work together to create a more harmonious home.
Tzu Chi is like family for many of the employees who have been working in Tzu Chi for 15 to 20 years. In this big family, not only does everyone work together, but all share an enrichment of their spirits as well.
Recently, the Suzhou Jingsi Hall in China held its first large-scale seminar. In just 2 days, 3 seminars was held at the location. Among the 3 workshops, the Eastern China Tzu Chi Teachers Association seminar was joined by over 300 teachers from various areas in China. To welcome the members of the Tzu Chi Teachers Association and Tzu Chings from Taiwan, Tzu Chi volunteers from Eastern China have all been mobilized. This is the first time that Suzhou Jingsi Hall has held an educational sharing. Joining are more than 300 teachers from Suzhou, Shanghai, Hangzhou, and Wuhan.
I want to become a promoter and introduce Tzu Chi to other teachers.
Through group activities and discussions, teachers from Taiwan and China learn from each other. After listening to how to teach Jingsi aphorisms, a teacher with 30 years of teaching experience says he gained a lot.
Children's thoughts are pure. I think the teachers from Taiwan have done a good job. We should learn from them and use this way to teach our students too.
This time, the seminar is also joined by Liu Qiang, who met Master Zheng Yan back in Taiwan and is also a professor at Shanghai's Tongji University. He hopes to spread Master Zheng Yan's philosophy in his teachings.
I learned a lot from attending the seminar. Every time I attend a Tzu Chi event, I'm very happy and feel fulfilled. I want to thank Tzu Chi and Master Zheng Yan.
This time, other than the Eastern China Tzu Chi Teachers Association seminar, Suzhou volunteers also held a Tzu Chi parent-child workshop. Through stage play and games, many participants say they learned a lot.
I think children nowadays are living in better conditions. They probably don't know why they should cherish everything, but after looking at the video, they will understand that many children are actually living in hardship. Then they will donate a little to help needy children.
We need to reduce the burden on our planet. For example, we should follow Tzu Chi, practice recycling, and use the recyclables to make other things.
In just 3 days, 3 workshops were held at the Suzhou Jingsi Hall. Thanks to the sharing of teachers and Tzu Chings from Taiwan, participants have gained much new knowledge. In China's Fujian province, Quanzhou Tzu Chi volunteers visit their care recipients every week, helping them clean up their homes as well as cut their hair and trim their nails. Besides caring for their physical needs, they also want the care recipients to know that Tzu Chi will always be there for them.
As soon as the grandchild of Grandpa Yang hears the footsteps of the Tzu Chi volunteers, he can't help but feel excited. Since last year, Tzu Chi volunteers have been visiting his family every week.
Every time we visit them and the little one hears us coming, he is especially happy. We help him get a bath and care for him, just like we would our own siblings. There's no difference between how we care for him and how we care for our family members.
The only son of Grandpa Yang passed away last year, leaving the senior alone with his grandchild, who suffers from cerebral palsy. This time, the volunteers brought along a lot of young volunteers who gives the senior a massage that reminds him of the warmth of family once again. There are 60 households in Guangzhou City of Fujian Province who are under the care of Tzu Chi. Local volunteers from 7 different districts gather every week to visit the care recipients. Among the care recipients is 82-year-old Grandma Ling, who knows the voices of the volunteers by heart. Upon hearing unfamiliar voices, the senior grabs their hands to remember their features. Because of the summer holidays, today many youngsters are accompanying the volunteers, so the young ones get to know how lucky they are.
We need to thank our parents for giving us a healthy body, so we are able to help those that are less fortunate.
Besides taking care of the care recipients, the volunteers also help them get a haircut along with manicure in hopes of putting smiles on their faces.
In Malaysia's Perak, a young man, Li Changfu, was left in a vegetative state after being beaten by the local residents following a car accident which he struck a passerby. As the family was unable to afford his medical bills, Tzu Chi stepped in to help by providing subsidies. Today, though the family no longer needs Tzu Chi's financial support, the volunteers still regularly visit the family each month to help give Li a bath. In 2006, Li Changfu was left in a vegetative state after being beaten by local residents following a car accident in which he struck a pedestrian. Li's family was devastated but decided to be strong.
I was very sad. I couldn't do anything but cry and face the truth.
After the incident, Li's mother and aunt began caring for the boy daily. The two takes turns feeding him, turning his body around, and giving him a shower. Li's aunt even learned how to change his medication.
Before they will ask a nurse to come and change the medication for him, it cost about $9. Changfu's aunt learned how to change the medication from the nurse, so now she can change it for him. She's smarter than the nurse.
Li Changfu's room is very tidy and filled with music. Recently, his paralyzed body has shown some improvement.
Before, he needed to use a urinary tube, but now he doesn't need it anymore. He has improved a lot.
To pay for Changfu's medical expenses, his family's financial situation hit bottom. Luckily, Tzu Chi reached out a helping hand. When the family's financial situation got better, they asked Tzu Chi to stop providing them with subsidies. The volunteers, however, still come regularly to give Changfu a bath.
I'm very touched by Changfu's aunt. She cares for him without wanting anything in return. I think not a lot of people would be willing to give like that. She gives him a bath from time to time too.
Changfu's mother and aunt take care of him without asking for anything in return. This love has touched many volunteers and encourages them to seize every opportunity to help the needy. Beginning yesterday, August 31st, Taiwan Tzu Chi volunteers are holding a series of events at the Chiang Kai-shek Memorial Hall to celebrate the 7th lunar month and to promote filial piety and gratitude. The volunteers put on sign language performance based on the animated movie of Vulnerable Jianzhen's treacherous journey to Japan. We joined the volunteers at their rehearsals. That's all the time we have for. Enjoy your weekend. Goodbye.